Welcome, team. Here we are on the Coal Tower. Once again, a little bit of deja vu with the Oni on Coal. This time we've got Scorn as killer. We've got Blast playing the role of Kazan, breaking the door of main, finding scratch marks. Really, really nice start. Choosing not to hang out there, though, and instead is going to find someone who's in a better position for him to start the chase and start his game. We are looking at the bully swift of Paradox on Survivor as well, SSB. Do you reckon we're going to see some high-intensity juicing like the last game?
Oh my God, they don't call it Juice Tower for a reason, Barn. I'm so excited, hopefully. But potentially maybe see a better outcome this time around. And because the survivors are sort of setting, they are setting the tempo in terms of, how many hook stages or how many escapes they could potentially get, how many hook stages they can preserve. The same thing kind of goes for Vloss as well. Like what can Vloss do specifically against this team? So like you said, maybe different killers, same killers, different mains going up against the same teams could potentially cause a different outcome. Great use right there, kind of just blocking everything off right here. Gonna have to break this pallet just because of how strong Shack pallet is. No surprise there.
Absolutely. We're going to continue running around the coal tower here. We've found another pallet just so kindly provided by the RNG gods thanks to Shaq next to a jungle gym. So I understand Blast here when he's choosing to dip. And another filler there, which this is a hellish area for any killer, let alone an Oni who's just looking to get a hit to start collecting some blood. He is going to be running towards the Corrupt, which again, another place that Vlas doesn't really want to be. So, it's just so nice to see a Survivor team know where to run, where to take chase. And that's what we see with these experienced high-tier teams in the DBDLeague, is that our Survivors just know greeting that pallet with Bloodlust too. Balls of steel on Hein here as he runs back to the God setup at the Shack area. He doesn't have too much over here now that pallet has been dropped. We do hear a bit of progress on that generator in the Shack as well, but he's got a pallet here. I think he learned not to greed from that hit just before, though, and drops that pallet and gets a bit of distance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, regardless, this is scary, right? Obviously, the power is pretty much here, ready to let it rip as soon as he needs to. But yeah, I mean, they're both, very safe pre-drops to kind of, make sure, the Oni either, ends up having the loop around and maybe building a bloodless play, or having to get quick breaks and giving them the ability to make distance. So it'll be nice to see for sure.
Absolutely. Look at all of this blood being left behind as our second generator pops. Vlas is looking for someone who is at full health. I think he wants to show them his M2 in the hopes that they will respond. Big cracker here, not able to get the blind. The pallet gets broken. There's only so much to work with now in this area. Couple of boxes, no big 180 flick, no scope spins yet. A big bonk, and he is down on the floor here. Blast, greedy little boy, is going to head on over to the other side of the map and see who is progressing his generators. If the team is smart, they're going to be able to force him to hit that wall with the mind games of the powerful survivors here. Jen pops in the distance. Arushi not able to escape this one, but we do see Frist get picked up in the meantime here. So the first hook will be on Arushi near a progress gen. And again, SSB, we kind of see it down here in the party city around the main building.
Yeah, Party City, this is the place to go, right? The trendsetters are always here in main building, so we're gonna have to maybe get a lot of defense going on right here. We're definitely gonna have to break this region up in main, right? You probably don't want to do Shackton just yet, just because you just don't want to force yourself into the region against an instant killer. So
absolutely, and the hill as well. We talk about, well, we don't, I always do talk about the power of the hill hook here. Little bit of blood, we're going to collect that and just see if someone's in the general area. We may want to get a couple of brutality points as well and just make sure that no one's going to go running at that 4 lane. Again, I think Vlas is quite happy here to get second stage and make sure that this generator is regressing a little bit, and he seems to be in the position that he was after now, where he's got this 3 gen either side of main and inside main, and a nice little hook next to the regressing generator as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, 4 gens being done right here, maybe trying to secure a kill right here could be big for Vloss, but regardless, here comes the Claudette, gonna end up getting maybe a vault right here. Yes, absolutely. The drop, I mean, going to end up potentially maybe fake the break right there, force Claudette into a zone. Yeah, gets the break right here, going to have to go towards potentially the main building, but opting to go around, not even go through the window. Maybe wanting to potentially eventually make it around to that window, so it doesn't want to get the early bamboozle on it. So
yeah, it does seem like that. Now, we did see Arushi go second stage here, so that's 2 stages with the 3-gen around the main building here. I think the plan would be to try and get rid of as many resources as possible in this area, which is kind of what's already happened, right? We've seen Chase over here a little bit throughout the game. We've now got body blocking against an Oni, perhaps. We do.
yeah,
It's always the last resort, right? Body blocking against the Oni.
yeah, absolutely. Because the big thing is if you don't body block that, you're gonna get your power anyways, and so or they're gonna get their power anyways. So if you block, you're ending up, you know, preserving someone's life, right, and then allowing them to make distance. And now nobody's going down, right, except for, you know, Lincoln right here, but that's gonna be a locker pull. So
yeah, it's not going down. That was a choice. That was a conscious decision there to hop in that locker and force the grab there. But unfortunately, we do see him up on that hill hook. So even if he was able to just maybe take Glass away for a little bit, I don't think Glass is silly enough, though, to commit too far away from this main building area. He really has all that he needs over here, and now with someone getting the unhook on Lincoln there, we know that there's multiple people in the area, and here he is. He's already here. Does he go locker again? No, he doesn't. Oh, no. He's just going to take the hit here. Hein going down. Glass once again, making sure he's getting all of the use out of his power. Going to check on the generators, finds the scratch marks, does not find the survivor yet. We can hear them though. We've got our headsets on, we can hear the survivor out here. We've got the scratch marks. I think it might be a balanced landing user here. The power does run out just at the top of the stairs, so no more slugs, no more power.
yeah, no more power, but lots of orbs to collect around here. I can't imagine you not being able to get your power consistently, and that's the beauty of having every survivor injured, is that you're just gonna have blood everywhere. Even if they rotate, no matter how far they go, you're always gonna have a chance to get your power reset right here. And that's gonna be the last gen done, and you see Hein go from injured to healthy. That's a sign of adrenaline, but to no avail. You're just gonna get insta down anyways. It doesn't matter. Bit of a misplay right there from Hein. That's rather unfortunate.
Yeah, it was. We keep seeing this this adrenaline failing our survivors and our players in the end game, whether it be to an insta-down killer or to Noed itself. So it's always a shame to see the perk get no use. A beautiful hit there through the window. I'm not quite sure how Arushi is feeling, but he's on out of there. Arushi got that tenacity or hope on the ground. I'm not quite sure, but he is zooming, and we're going to be placing him up on this hook. Unfortunately, we'll be saying goodbye to Arushi. He is no longer with us in the trial. We have a look at this gate over here. What have we got happening? No progress.
No progress at all because of no way out, right? 2 stacks going to prove to be just enough to, you know, that's why you see a lot of resets going on. They're just forced to end up just doing the reset because of, you know, you might as well. You have nothing else better to do with your time. And wow, a swing and a miss right here. Are we gonna get some juice from Lycan right there? Get stunned. Great stuff right there. Take a pallet to the face. But now at this point, you got to think that middle right side of the that middle right gate is probably being opened. Pretty close to pretty much being started. Oh, wait a minute.
I didn't even see him in there. This is why we're not playing comp killer. I didn't even see. Did you see her in there?
No, I didn't see. This is why we are casting. You know what I mean?
This is why we talk about. Well, we can't even see the gameplay we're talking about with that one. But Wrist, unfortunately, not being able to pull off the immersed Claudette cosplay there, and unfortunately going down in that corner. That's going to be a fresh hook, though. That's a lot of points there for Blast and poor team Scorn. We are seeing the gates opening in the distance. Just up to the team, though, if they want to try and get this unhook or not. Not really anywhere near the amount of blood to get his power, but it's still, they're not able to know that, right?
Yeah, they're not able to know. They're definitely playing out of a little bit of fear, right? Just, having to make a prediction. A pretty safe assumption is to always assume the power is very close. But yeah, they could definitely go for this this double save. I feel like they're sort of thinking about it. Maybe getting a reset. Oh, it looks like, yeah, they're getting a reset. It looked like they're going to try to go for it.
No, we got mind gamed.
You get heal points, but you get no blood points at customs. Come on, guys. But
Absolutely.
gonna get it.
They're mind gaming us with the reset in the gates.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's gonna be a 2-out. Yeah, but that fresh hook on wrist, Floss clutching it out, that might come back to be one of the deciding factors.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are looking at 17 to Scorn, 15 to Paradox. So very close. And we need to switch sides. We want to see how this game is going to turn out. What is the Oni going to bring us? We can only find out if we take a short break and set up the next lobby. That one was for Dyer. We'll see you soon.
Everybody, we're starting off with round 2 of Oni, or technically round 4 for the whole day if you guys have been here watching. We're going to see Arushi on the Oni, unfortunately not getting the best performance last match around. Going to see if we can get a better situation here in this matchup against Scorn. Gonna already get a pallet break right here, continuing to chain towards the middle right side of the map. Gonna have to continue to get a loop, but maybe the greed right here could come to bite Mia. And yeah, that's gonna be a trade on the pallet already, Barn.
Yeah. That is a fast hit. Arushi is not messing around. He's come in without any jokes whatsoever. He's also got the Rancor with him, which I think we've got Dyer with us on the phone at home in the background, doing a little bit of scorekeeping for us here, and he's going to be incredibly excited if we do finally get to see our first Rancor Mori of Season 8. It's only taken 7 weeks, but it's possible that today's the day and we're finally going to get to see it. We are doing the same old activities of sitting on that hill, camping it with our balance landing. Arushi choosing to take his power and head on back into the map here.
Yeah, absolutely gonna rip the power right there. Already going to get a gem pop, but this is honestly gonna be pretty good just because the top side of the map, you see a lot of common 3 gens in left, middle, and right of the top side of the map to try to maybe hold those down, but already going to commit to the Nancy chase right here, getting the flick around with the bamboozle, going to maybe get a nice little curve right here, maybe trying to find the pallet, and that's gonna be it right there. Yeah. With the narrow spacing right there, there's not much opportunity to get a flick unless you get really, really lucky. So that's honestly kind of the best situation for Arushi right now. Maybe to try to snowball, maybe get another down right here. And that's exactly what he's going to get. Great start right now. Looking a lot better this time around, Arushi.
He is not joking. Game sense. It's been such a long time since I feel like all of our Onis have greeded a little bit in their power and they've gone for a slug play, and they're either not able to capitalize it with multiple people getting back up or just getting that one hook. Really nicely done there from Arushi to not only stop that generator being progressed, but to also get that hook on DBDLeague. We do see the reset on Obi, though our Nancy is back to full health, but that of course means that there's a whole bunch of blood laying around over there, which we can see floating in the distance in the jungle gym. We are going to be chasing Karma. Karma playing on the Yoichi. Unfortunately, his coat was hanging over the window there, and he was taking a hit. We are going to go back just to make sure that that the unhook is happening before our eyes. We can see one of the strongest sprint bursts here on DBDLeague, our detective tap, but we're not going to tunnel. Arushi is not looking for any more minus reps, so is going to go after this Nancy here.
Yeah, gonna opt to go after the Nancy, maybe just to get another injury, but Karma already gonna get healed. So I was going to make a point about how having all 4 survivors injured would have been great to just farm the power over and over again, but the quick resets are happening right here, and Obi doing a really good job taking Arushi to the middle side of the map, maybe blocking a lot of line of sight going towards Shaq's side, and that looks like that's what's gonna happen exactly, but gonna get the free power yet again. let it rip and go back up to the 3-gen, because something that we haven't seen much today, we've seen the survivors actually gun for that 3-gen on the top side of the map. Most survivors so far today have been going for everything on the middle and bottom and just trying to deal with the 3-gen. So you already know that kind of aggression from the survivors. They know something's up, so they want to make sure they can clutch this out.
Absolutely, and you know, in most cases as well, we've been seeing the 3-gens being popped. It's not an unbeatable game just because you've got the 3-gens. It's always nice to see everyone remain with the hope, and sometimes, you know, with the corrupted gens down one side of the map, that's where you want to take the chase, right? So it only leaves the team with specific places to do the gens. We are going to see ELEC going down in a pallet. Is anyone around? Any helpers? No helpers here. We're not going to see the save onto ELEC yet. We're going to see him be propped up here in the middle of the map on the hill hook. Arushi is doing pretty well. We're in quite a nice spot. We've got 2 stages on ELEC here. 2 gens have popped, and we've just got an abundance of blood all over the map here. Did I hear a pallet?
That could have been a pallet. Yeah, absolutely. You were correct right there. Maybe trying to deny a quick hit right there, but it doesn't matter, to no avail. Still gonna get it, and it looks like you're gonna pop the power and go back to the hook. You already have tap on dead on hook, and that's honestly really good just because you do have Rancor later. Oh my god, that's that was crazy. My life flashed before my eyes, and I know the tap, it did for the tap as well. As we're gonna get that down already on the pallet, not able to drop it in time, going to opt to maybe slug and maybe get another down to really slow the pace of the game down. Oh, that's Obi.
Obi forcing the grab here in the hopes that maybe someone comes and picks up ELEC, who is on dead hook. I'm not quite sure if he's in a position where he's able to get picked up here, being down so close to the hook. He is in the pallet though, so it does give someone time to come. Never mind. Not juicing up on the pallets. They usually try to position themselves to get in line to get that pallet save, but unfortunately not in this instance. We will be saying goodbye to ELEC. We will be doing some high intensity vaulting on the main window with the bamboozle. Karma not being caught off guard by that one though. The Yoichi in the yellow jacket absolutely juicing up the tractor tires here, faking the pallet, getting stuck, taking a hit, and running off into the middle of the map. Arushi's got his power, and I think he's ready to rock and roll somewhere else.
Yeah, definitely ready to rock and roll somewhere else. Maybe force a chase down towards that middle side of the map. Understanding that there are more survivors here, trying to get a flick right here. Nobody home for it though. Going to opt to maybe get it this time. You don't succeed, try again, and that's exactly what's going to happen. The down on Obi. Again, maybe getting these downs on the other survivors instead of your obsession. That way you have access to more hook stages, and you're going to get the more at the end of the game anyways if you play your cards right, thanks to that rank war. So regardless, so another gen pops, 2 gens in your favor. Going to probably try to find Karma or not real, just so you can get that painless stack, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
Karma, what are you doing there, honey? Oh, just popped out of nowhere and then took a big old sword in the back. I think Arushi wants the 4K now. He wants the 4K at 2. He's going to be bamboozling this off, assuming the survivor is around the main building area.
Oh no.
Spotted.
Oh no.
Spotted.
Karma maybe falling asleep at the wheel, taking off the headset right there, and yeah. This is...
It's a mind game. It's a mind game.
The most elite of mind games. You already know how it is. But at this point, it's, you know, all but over anyways. I mean, I thought we were giving up, and I was like, you know what, that's fair, I understand. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if we're going to see maybe a Deliverance play right here. Obviously, maybe to buy some extra time. I know commonly we like to pair up Deliverances with the Spirit Bursters, and that was a tap earlier.
Get out of here, SSB.
But against...
we would never allow that.
We would never allow that, right?
No Delhi against Oni. Not in my esports. Picking up our little slugaboo here. It's going to be a 4K at 2. What an amazing performance. Arushi loaded in, and he was not messing around, and he was not joking one single bit. Really, really nice performance here. I think we've got some scores coming through SSB.
Yeah, we do. Obviously, we're waiting to finalize those for sure, but it looks like it's going to be a 43-23 score right there. Great stuff. Irushi cleaning up that Oni game way better the second time around. So great stuff for sure. We're going to have to see how the next killers go. I believe we have, is that a nurse if I'm not mistaken, next game?
It is a Sally Smithson killer.
Yeah, it's going to be quite wonderful to see. I'm so excited. The games have been so much fun. Obviously, we've been here all day. And yeah, we're just waiting on these kills to get going. We're going to basically take sort of a break at some point pretty soon. Get the match set up, get the switch going, making sure everything is good on the housekeeping end of things. You guys don't go anywhere. You got some time to get a drink, a snack, but we'll be right back pretty soon. Everybody, we are in the Auto Haven realm with a change of scenery and a change of killer. It's going to be Hind rocking it with the nurse yet again. We saw this similar comp in Paradox's last set, so I'm excited to see what Hind has to bring to the table. Obviously, with the corrupt intervention, zoning out survivors, already finding someone. He says, I don't care about your sprint burst when I can just blink on top of you and still get the hit anyways, and that's exactly what Hind is going to do.
Absolutely, starting off strong with the biggest burst in all of the Wrecker's Yard here. We're going to be taking some pathing to get a little bit of object blockery in line of sight mastery over here with Not Real. Unfortunate hit there. Didn't think that was going to connect, but DBD doing DBD things. It does, and that's going to be a down at 5 gens, but enough time for our survivors to get situated, position themselves across the map, and decide which gens they want to start progressing. Of course, that down prevents corrupt intervention from blocking any more generators, but just as the corrupt expires, the tremors begins. So we did see a little bit of value there from it. We're going to be getting the value from Eruption and Pop and heading on back to see who's unhooking our survivor.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the bases that Hind is covering here, right? Corrupt intervention to slow down the start of the game and find survivors a little bit quicker because they're zoning themselves out. I love the slowdown right here, and wow, gets another down right here. I love the slowdown as well, obviously with the pop and eruption combo, but thrilling is also a great info perk, right? So that's going to be really nice to see what it kind of shows Hind where to go, and it'll be nice to see what value you can get from that. As Not Real's already on phase 2 on the hook stages, as we get that first gen finally completed.
Yeah, really nicely done by our survivor team to be able to pop out a little bit of progress on this one, but unfortunately we see it fade away by our Pop. Goes the Weasel here, regressing it back to almost nothing here. Wouldn't surprise me if Hind's kind of willing to hold this blink and figure out if he wants to go back to hook or start a new chase. I think he's looking to prevent the unhook though, with blinking back here to the hook, making sure that no one's kind of stealthing around. So if he blinks just that little bit too far that he can't make it back, they're going to come in and get the unhook. There was what I think may have been a lie. It's going to be a trade here. We do get the unhook. We are going to be doing some strategic targeting. That's a minus rep for Hind on the Steam profile right here. We're going to be running the edge map. We know from before there's no decisive strike, so unfortunately the only option here for Not Real is to die as far away from the generators as possible, which is what he's done. Really helpful for the team. Little bit cringe if you do it in pubs, but we're not there, are we, SSB?
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to you're back against the wall, when it comes to the big bucks, the big marbles, right? You're gonna have to do whatever it takes to come out with the victory, and that's exactly what Hind's looking to do. I will say though, taking that hit, trying to go for a trade, knowing that Nurse isn't really going for it, you're kind of giving up some time having to heal up tap, unless you're okay with being injured the whole game. So maybe that wastes a little bit of time, but regardless, they're looking pretty well. Yeah, looking at these interesting palettes right here, maybe to see if maybe we can get some positional advantage here. But so far, nobody home around this side of the map, which is where Not Real was actually initially spotted. As we transition back towards the middle of the map, maybe trying to look for some placements right here. I think we see stretch marks. I could be wrong. Definitely see some crows flying. So
Nice prize value. Unfortunately, this game, like we saw previously, we get a lot of snitches from the birds, but unfortunately Heinz not able to get that this game. Now, I'm just having a look in our match channel here, and I can see a lot of perks that were on Not Real that are unfortunately out of the trial now and no longer able to be used. But by having Lou removed from the trial, we've taken We'll Make It, For the People, and Deliverance. 3 incredibly strong and much needed perks. And we've got 3 gens left. I'm not quite sure why they didn't try harder to protect him, considering he was so absolutely stacked there. And I think being found first was quite problematic. And now we're in a position where we've got 3 survivors, 3 generators, and a very angry Sally Smithson here looking for some sacrifices.
Yeah, absolutely. Already having 2 eruption gens already kicked, ready to go. And if we can find this down very quickly, it's going to be nice. I mean, obviously checking every nook and cranny, listening for some breathing, maybe trying to find the next survivor to go after as we get the reset on Easy Alec already. We're going to have to keep transitioning out. You see these gens being touched, so you know survivors are around, but they're stealthing out this nurse really well, slowing the pace of the game down, playing the war of attrition here to try to get some tempo going, maybe get some additional pressure, some additional points from the gens being done. It's going to be definitely one of the slower paced games that we see. With Nurse being such a killer that can snowball very quickly, this is honestly probably the right play.
Yeah, 100%. And we saw the power of stealthing with Divine Dead. I think ending up 4-staging Xeno on the Nurse a couple of weeks back. But it's such an effective strategy. I know it's incredibly frustrating for the killer as well. See, this is all that Heinz is able to do now, is to go between the generators, regress them. He knows that people are there, but the amount of time that you spend looking for someone behind the rocks, behind the piles of junk, edge map, it's so time consuming, and that's other survivors progressing the generators that you can't protect because you're looking. So whilst it may be a little bit frustrating for the killer, a little bit boring to watch, it's incredibly beneficial for the survivors. So we're gonna have to let them have this one.
Absolutely. Obviously, again, we talk about it again, using whatever it takes to win, and more crows flying potentially. So we might have to get some blinks around some of these gens right here, continuing to find the survivors. Though, yeah, like you said, this is kind of what you need to do, especially after, you know, a really early kill onto Nia. That's going to be kind of the key right here. Obviously, maybe the gen, obviously, you know, getting some information if they do touch the gen pretty soon in the near future. But yeah, Hein is just looking. He's looking, ready to start the chase, knowing that he could instantly get the down as soon as he gets that one hit. Could definitely blink on, and we finally find the survivor. And now it's going to be the war of attrition. It's going to be the mind game. It's going to be the lines of visibility right there. Obviously, through the window, that gives you a good idea of where the survivor is going to go.
Absolutely, and this is the thing as well, right? With Obi being in chase, as soon as he was spotted and the nurse is blinking near him, he's going to be saying to his team, get on the gens, I'm in chase, she's over with me, and start using those incredibly cringe number clock callouts. And what we see here is a very, very nice eruption proc on those generators. Facing the wrong way though, so we don't get any aura value, but we will be bringing Nancy to the middle of the map. And I think he's gonna be going... No, he mind gamed me. Never mind. He was thinking about going for the basement, but he didn't want to. He's gonna be able to make...
Oh my goodness. You were able...
You greedy boy!
Yeah, that's rather unfortunate, wanting to go for maybe a different hook right there and ended up not getting a hook at all. You're able to still make it all the way. I mean, the mobility from Nurse, right? No stranger to the tippy top of the tier list, as we're probably going to get a hook pretty soon right here. You know, maybe some eruption value, definitely going to have some pop value after you get this hook. So you got to be really careful here. Yeah, finally going to get the hook this time, not letting your food go twice. Going to end up looking for maybe one of these further generators, obviously maybe trying to find some progress, maybe another survivor for sure. That's going to be 50% right there with Pop Goes the Weasel. Great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Hein now being able to find the survivors and the clan of Scorn a little bit failed here. We're going to be using is that, I think, maybe a live play there to get a little bit of distance, and really, really beautiful blinks from Hein to be able to get that down and predict that double back really nicely. And what do we see there? A little bit of value with our aura over there. We do see somebody off in the distance trying to work on that generator. There was a couple with a bit of progress, but I think Eruption may have knocked it off a little bit. But we are going to be nice little movement there from Karma, but unfortunately not nice enough to avoid the hit, as we're going to be bugged in our nurse music. Couple of blinks beautifully done by Hein. He's had some really, really nice blinks this game.
Yeah, some nice blinks for sure. And, you know, one of the nicest blinks we saw was the down on tap right there. You saw the aura read coming in from Eruption. And normally these survivors are probably amazing at calling out when they're going down so they can let go of the gen and they don't get the aura read. But that blink was very ambiguous on tap to where they couldn't really call out efficiently when they were going down. Maybe a little bit surprised right there. And it was enough for, you know, Eruption play to get right there, maybe get Karma off of the gen and even get another hit on Karma as we get another down here on Easy Ellie. Great stuff. Yeah, Hein is definitely starting to pick up the tempo of the game a lot more towards their favor for sure.
Yeah, and I've got to commend Scorn as well, right? Being able after that death on Lu on Not Real, for them to be able to say, all right guys, we need a new game plan here. What are we going to be able to do? What's the play? For them to be able to collectively kind of put their heads together and think, when in doubt, stealth it out, and really commit to that, I think was a really nice play. It got them back in quite a good position. But I think once the chase resumed and once our survivors were spotted again, they weren't able to readjust and adapt to this different method, and now we're kind of seeing the outcome of that. Right, we're still at a standstill with 3 gens, and all Hein's doing is getting stages.
Yeah, all Hein's doing is getting stages, and this tractor right here, a little bit unsafe for sure, just because you can see underneath it. So sometimes you can see the pitter-patter footsteps, and you're able to make the correct guesses right here. As he blinks onto Karma, it looks all but inevitable to get the down right here. Do the tires gonna opt to blink? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, but a little bit of a mishap on the blinks right there. Maybe thought Karma wasn't moving. You know, sometimes holding W might be the best option right now against Nurse.
Gonna be holding our blink, taking ourselves back to the middle of the map here. No progress on this middle generator. We are going to check back on this sneaky one in the outskirts here. No need to go too far though, because we find Obi once again. Obi taking a hit, getting a little bit of distance. Some nice pathing there, not entirely sure of where he is. Found him. We're going to be going for quite a long-range blink here. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that one, SSB.
Yeah, rather unfortunate right there. I mean, the first long blink was really good for Hein, just because, you know, Obi a little bit good pathing going through all of the vehicles stacked on top of each other, but then goes through a long corridor, giving Hein a great deal of time to charge up that long blink. Was able to put himself in the right positioning to get that hit, whether or not, you know, felt like it was deserved. Regardless, still getting another hit here, probably maybe going for, yeah, just running away at this point, because I believe they're dead on hook as well. Yeah,
unfortunately. We are going to see the second stage on Obi here. A big pop kick on the gen and unhook in the distance. Scratch marks behind us. A lot to take in here, but we are going to be back in chase. Doesn't it just seem like Hein is going from chase to chase to chase? We're at such a standstill for so long. Really nicely done by Hein there. Really nice patience on that. Didn't want to get hit by the pallet. Didn't want to fatigue. Was able to get the hit onto Karma here, and will be popped up on the hook. And that's going to be the fresh. That's a lot of points for Hein.
Lots of points, absolutely. Finally getting the last fresh hook. Everybody's been hooked at least once. 2 people dead on hook. It's going to be nice for Hein in order to just kind of find this slowly but surely, you know, whittle it down. I appreciate Hein for not overextending as much, especially, you know, after getting the kill on Nia, was able to kind of just, you know, maintain this patient gameplay of just, you know, monitoring gens, monitoring save guns for survivors to be, and yeah, get grabbed off the gen. Gotta be careful, good sir.
Kind of got jump scared by that one. Elik taking the D for death here. And we've got Karma and Obi left. Karma injured, Obi at full health. They're going to have to make a play for either a hatch or the gate now, maybe. Pop an engine for points. I'm not entirely sure if that's possible considering the regression that Hein's been getting on all of the gens around the map. He's played this so well, and I think he's remained calm when he's been under pressure. The frustrations of not being able to find a survivor for so long and still being in this position with 3 generators left, I think he's done a really, really nice job.
Yeah, absolutely. As he finds the last, another hit on Karma right here. Potentially going to look for Obi as there are only 2 survivors left. So obviously going to go for the slug right here. Going to end up, you know, leaving Karma on the ground looking for Obi. At this point, stealth that out as much as you can, but it doesn't matter because the scratch marks right here are present. And now it's all but a matter of time. Obi going to need the juice of their life in order to, you know, get out of this one.
Yeah, nice little juicer chase maybe for the end game for us to see. Choosing to take a little bit of distance here, which would be the right play. Where's Hein gonna get? He just knows. He's got such beautiful blinks here, switching up between the safety blinks and the prediction blinks, and really having a nice go at the Sally Smithson killer. That's gonna be a 4K with 3 gens remaining. And max points, provided he can find his little slugs.
Yeah, absolutely going to find the slugs. Hopefully, obviously, you're going to want to reposition if you are the slug survivors just to make it even more difficult on Nurse to find. But again, with as much mobility as you have, it could be all but inevitable sometimes, you know, in terms of picking up your survivors. But yeah, already finding Karma traversing through this side of the map right here.
That's going to be Karma picked up and put on a hook. No pressure, Obi. It is going to be full points anyway because he is on death hook. What a game. I feel like it was action-packed at the start. We said goodbye to Lou really early, and then we said goodbye to everyone and didn't see them for about 10 minutes, and then Hein really kind of juiced up. I think again, when we talk about adaptability, after the stealthing moment, I don't feel like Scorn were able to come back from that and readjust their game plan.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Scorn maybe were thinking that Hein would probably overextend a little bit more than they actually did, and once Hein showed that they were patient enough in order to get you know, these kills slowly but surely in a methodical fashion, you know, it was yeah, Scorn could not really answer. They didn't really have an answer for that, and yeah, that's kind of proved to be the difference maker. So yeah, just looking for Obi right now, checking the corners of the map. We're gonna have to see which part of the map they probably will be. Yeah, we hear the grunting, we hear the moaning. So at this point, it's all but inevitable. Gonna get the free pickup, gonna get the slug right here.
Trying to make him vault and make him look silly on the stream. I'm on to you, Obi. I know your tricks. People have done that to me before. It's very embarrassing. We are going to unfortunately say goodbye to Obi, the last survivor standing, in a sense, laying down, but removed from the trial nonetheless. That is going to be a 4K with 3 generators remaining. You can have a look at the blood points there, just showing how strong the Nurse killer is. If anyone has a blood point challenge, I'd recommend playing the Nurse, raking it in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think our scores are going to be finalized 28-4. So if I'm not mistaken, unless that you know, we're still kind of figuring some stuff out right here. So yeah, what a great game overall. So right, Barn?
Absolutely. Again, really, really nicely done by Hein to remain calm throughout, I think really proved a lot and was nicely done by him. I think we need to see some more Nurse though. Let's switch it up. Let's see Vlas on the Nurse. We're gonna take a short break, switch up the sides. We're going to see Vlas for Scorn on the Nurse, and we're going to see our Survivor team of Paradox on the Survivor side. Let's have a break. We'll be back with that in a moment for you.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another match right here. We have Vlas on the Nurse. Yeah, and the win condition is very simple. Do 3 generators, right?
Absolutely. Now, we've said that before. I know that Q and I, back in the olden days of Q, the DBD caster, he would always say, just do the gens, forehead. But we have learnt through our time that sometimes it cannot be as simple as it sounds, especially against a killer like Vlas, a killer like Nurse, and the combo of Vlas on the Nurse. It can be a little bit difficult, and you can see by his build that he's not messing around. He's looking to capitalize on his downs with that infectious fright tremors combo here. So a lot of information at his disposal for when he does get a survivor downed. I think we're looking at an action-packed match coming our way. Blinking around, looking for a survivor here. Are we going to find someone? I'm not too sure. We did drop chase before, but we're heading on over. We do find Hein, the Nurse from the previous game. I'm sure there's a bit of revenge here that we want to get against him. We are going to be giving him a big old smackaroo and chasing him around the edges of the map. He is going to the corrupted area, which is a good place to go. A really nice double back there. We are going to continue chasing him in the corrupt. Down he goes. No infectious, so that is the chance for Vlas to pick up, get a bit of tremors action. Unfortunately, a little bit too late because that gen did just pop there. We're going to be looking for somewhere to use our Pop Goes the Weasel. We do see a Claudette Arushi leave this generator. And we are going to blink on back to hook and play for the tunnel. I think my co-caster here is having some internet problems, so I'm going to be flying solo. I hope you don't mind dealing with the Australian woman for just a little bit longer until he returns. We're continuing chase through the shack onto Hein. We are going to be finally adventuring to this side of the map, which we've avoided for most of the day. It's really nice to see some chases over here. A double back into the dead hard, second dead hard that we've seen work today against the Nurse, showing that our players are getting much more used to the PDX new format and its use. We're going to be taking him quite a distance away. Once again, Hein doing what's needed for the team, taking him far, far away from the generators, far away from his survivors, his teammates. And he slaps him with the D! You're welcome, team. All right, unfortunately, was not able to get too far. The blind did not come through from the firecracker. He got slapped by the D and then unfortunately going down on the next blink. But that's 2 generators done so far. I think we just need one more. Am I right, team? I think I'm going to get some confirmation from our match staff here that that was the winning generator for the game. Swing and a miss there onto Hein once again, who was fully healed with For the People. We are going to be continuing to chase on him though. Unfortunately not able to get that stun, but we do drive around as the blinking killer, looking for the last hit in order to get Hein out of the game here. Vlas choosing to fatigue. Blinking again, double back from Hein. Dead hard for distance, in order to say, yeah, all right, you when you got me with that one. The distance dead hard working once again, which it did in the previous game with Nurse in our other set as well. Another really nice double back there. I think Vlas, knowing that the win con has been reached, has got no issues in committing to the chase and having a bit of fun with Hein over here while his team do the generators. Another generator pops in the distance. Again, choosing to lose that one. Oh! Oh! As someone who constantly plays on 230 MS, I felt that one deep in my heart. We're going for a bully swiffing. Blast is not a moth. That's not going to get him. He's not going to be blinded by that one, unfortunately. And we will be saying goodbye to Hein. But there's just one generator remaining. And you can see that our survivors here have done quite a good job at splitting those and keeping one on one side and a couple on the other there as well. It's really up to Vlas to decide where he wants to go. We do see a missed skill check over there, or could even be a red herring. It does appear to be the final generator popping, though. That's going to be a down onto Lincoln, an infectious proc over here. We're going to be chasing for the infectious. A hit on wind here. First time seeing them all game. Beautifully done there by Vlas to blink. We're going to be going back to our little slug over here, Lincoln, I think, and placing him on a hook, which only leaves Urushi upright. I think Urushi's going to try and do some juka looping with his flashlight, maybe. I thought that he'd be coming in to get the flashlight save, but I don't think so, and I think Vlas is going to get the other hook there. Urushi choosing to get a bit of distance and head on out. There is the gate. There is the deli. Here comes the nurse. That is a long way for her to go. The inbuilt borrowed time would have ran out. But this is, in fact, not an open gate. So slight problemas here for Lincoln as he runs to the gate that is not open. No end game perks to protect him here. There's no no off the record in our tournaments. There is no DS in end games, so that's going to be Lincoln placed back up on that hook. But we were able to get wind back up, and Urushi's still walking around upright, fully healed as well. So I'm not too sure if they want to play for the unhook and take the 3, or maybe they just want to call it quits. They've had a long day of esports, our team Paradox here, so wouldn't surprise me if they could just take the 2, but they're coming in for it. Last game of the day. I think one will try and do a bit of a distraction technique here, taking a hit. There comes the unhook on Lincoln. Oh, he's asserting some dominance, trying to get in front of Blassie. I don't think that's going to work, though. We're not going to be able to get the body block on the nurse. Just going to blink straight through, and that is down onto wind here. Infectious, though. A lot of infectious value this game. Really nice to see something new being brought in. And I think with his win con, he kind of had to do something aggressive like that. So quite a good choice for his perk build. Swing and a miss here on Lincoln. It's now his turn to juice up. Not able to hit him with the cracked fire movement there, unfortunately, and he will be going down. Once again, we've still just got Urushi up. Urushi carrying the end game as the only fully healed survivor. Picking up slugs, unhooking his team. No pressure, and now he's on the beam. Urushi on the beam, not joking. Gonna be ignoring him and going for wind. Lincoln's back up with Unbreakable. There's the infectious. Giving the no-nos. Blast is saying, let me have my hook, please. His aim was assisted there into that rock. A really nice play by Behavior. Do we go for the heal tech? What are we doing here? This could be... No, never mind. This could be problemas. This could be problemas. We do end up getting wind at the exit gate anyway. You do end up seeing our Deliverance Unbreakable Sweat Lord Lincoln making his way out of the gate, as well as Urushi, the end game MVP here. That's going to be a 2K to Blast and to Team Scorn. We do end up with a final score of 42 to Paradox and 23 to Scorn.